Alright, tool groupies, these are a 6-inch slip joint plier from Kobalt with a fastener style rivet and a nickel chrome plated finish that you probably haven't seen in a really long time. These were actually some of the best quality pliers that Kobalt produced. After these pliers though, everything started going downhill. These have lasted me for a good long time. As you can see, they haven't got a speck of rust anywhere on them. Got the navy blue on gray grip. Teeth are still in pretty good shape. The pliers function and perform just like they always did. As Kobalt started outsourcing everything overseas, they did change the design of the pliers. When we got the navy blue and black grips, now they have a hot riveted joint. Pliers still function and perform just as good as what the other ones did. We'll say that they were easier to rust than other versions have been. Now, I've got several of these older style pliers still left that I'm using to this day. And Kobalt decided they were going to switch manufacturing once again, which is when we got the light blue and black grips that we all know today. Problem is, when they started manufacturing tools in this manner is whenever everything started going downhill. That's when a lot of different problems started popping up with the Kobalt pliers. The hot riveted joints would be too thin, be way too loose, you'd have too much jaw slop, or they'd be way too tight and you couldn't hardly open the jaws. The forging quality was bad, so was the fit and finish. Most importantly, the metal quality was bad. You go to grip something and the teeth would dull up as soon as you used the pliers. Now, right before they decided to release Craftsman end lows, they outsourced everything that they had, every tool that they had, over to China. During that time is when you see some of the worst quality manufacturing that they've ever done in the Kobalt line. And the slip joint pliers was probably the worst of the batch. Got to the point where I quit trying to get a warranty on these pliers. I simply pulled the grips off, put them on a different version of pliers, and just used them instead. I've still got some old Task Force pliers from back in the day that perform better than what those did. Then I went down there recently and I warrantied out one of the pliers that I had and brung home this new made in Vietnam version of the slip joint plier. Let me tell you, this is like a breath of fresh air. It's the first time in 2.5 decades that the quality of Kobalt tools has been restored a little bit. Vietnam manufacturing is 10 times better than Chinese manufacturing. The hot riveted joint is nice and thick. You can open and close the jaws nice and smoothly. The fit and finish is vibrant and spectacular. The symmetry on the tool design is nice and accurate. Whenever you go to grip something, you're not tearing the teeth completely off the plier as soon as you use it. It means the metal quality has been enhanced on these tools. I got a bunch of different videos you can check out where we're talking about tool quality and some of the alterations that they will do whenever they switch manufacturing. Somebody wants to go into a store one day and invest in something that they consider a good quality tool and then go back the following week to get a warranty on something only to get something that's not worth what you're paying for. Look at these two different Kobalt slip joint pliers right here. Dark blue and black grips is not as thick as what the lighter blue grips are. Tell by looking at the tool itself that it's got different metal quality. The older one is not rusted up like the newer one. The older one opens and closes without any problems. The newer one's got a catch in it. Cut plenty of steel rods in between the jaws on the older plier without dinging up the jaw itself. The newer plier, I've got some dings in that cutting jaw. Softer steel is weaker steel. And you can tell that the newer one has a thicker forge to it than the older one. If this one's a little bit thicker, it's because they're compensating for the weak steel that it's made out of. And that's common knowledge. Whenever you're buying a tool and it's a lot thicker than what it used to be, chances are they produce the quality. So I, for one, am glad to see that Kobalt decided to move away from Chinese manufacturing for Vietnam manufacturing because the quality has definitely improved. That's why more and more reputable tool brands are starting to switch manufacturing over to Vietnam. But if Kobalt's going to seriously compete with all these other store brands like a Harbor Freight or a Husky, they're going to have to up their game like they are right now. And honestly, some of the new tools that they're offering is definitely going to be something that I'm going to try out. So why don't you give us your thoughts on this by commenting down below, then pop that clutch, subscribe, and follow along for more.